Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Tech Tinktronics channel where we're going to tinker and learn. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cleaning up a Zotac. Here we are cleaning basically these little chip-like components. They have residue from what we have in these 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 thermal pads here. Especially that one, that apparatus covers that that over there. So what happens is the the pads deteriorate over time, and then what happens is you're left with residue that you have to clean up. What we use is 90% rubbing alcohol with a Q-tip to basically get these cleaned out a little bit for us for the next install. Um, so essentially, you want to be very detailed and you want to clean these out um, very carefully. You want to be careful to remove any residue because the residue likes to stick to the alcohol on the board, and that's how it goes. So, that's and all those little itty bitty components have to be cleaned up. There's some more that has to be cleaned up that I didn't get to in this video, but what we have is, you know, we have the thermal paste there that we got to clean up and that sort of thing, and then we have all the stuff on the heat sink and its related apparatus that we got to clean up as well. So there's a lot to do, and it was like a 2-day project basically for me and a friend. Um, Now what's going on is I'm cleaning the memory chips so that they make good contact with the new application of thermal padding and that sort of thing. So basically, we're getting the residue off the board, getting the residue off the chips, getting some of the particles of the uh, the thermal material off the board, and then cleaning up some of the dust too within the board as well. So basically, you want to get this in tip-top shape so that we can apply that new thermal paste if necessary to the CPU or the GPU's processor area, and then the new thermal padding to the brackets, which are actually many heat sinks that you see up there with the padding, the green padding on them. So essentially right now what I'm doing is I'm just getting this dust off of this. There's little itty bitty dust particles that you got to get out that kind of stick to the motherboard. Using a duster doesn't exactly do it, but hey, we still got quite a bit to do with the components cleaning and all that sort of thing. As you can see, that there is just a lot of that hardened dust that you got to get off the motherboard, and periodically cleaning your computer does help. I want to add that when we did this and we got everything back together, everything ran like at least 20 degrees Celsius cooler on a lot of different fronts. And this is running Cinebench and all those great, wonderful benchmarking tools. So it's a tedious process to get this cleaned up for the new application. And if you're like OCD when it comes to electronics like me, you're gonna find that that's how it is sometimes. But one thing I discovered is there's only so much cleaning you could do, and before it becomes, like, no benefit. You just want to get it. The whole idea here is we want to get everything cleaned up just enough to make great contact with the new thermal applications, whether it be the thermal padding or the thermal paste. And we will reveal the thermal paste that we use in a later video. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Like the video if you haven't already liked the video. And be sure to leave a comment and tell us your thoughts about what we are doing here. Okay, so this is just a little bit more final cleanup of the thermal application on the GPU. And once again, you know, like I said, it's a tedious job, but it's well worth the effort and the labor because you're taking care of your components and you're getting better mileage out of your components, just so to speak. So that's what is a great winner for everybody, you know, the computer and you. All right, so this is a different angle here. We're looking at cleaning up the padding off of the we're cleaning up the padding off of these brackets that are used to as heat sinks for, say, the memory. That's the memory heat sink, and then the other heat sink is for the different components things that you have. So we got to get that stuff off. And the thing about it is that once you get it off, you still have this residue um, from its adhesive, and you have the deteriorating padding, as you can see there. So what you want to do with that is you want to clean that up, you know, with the alcohol pad. And also, I found that I got better with the alcohol and the rubbing alcohol, cleaning those heat sinks off. So those of you that have this card, you know, comment below. What do you think about the design? Is it good design? I think it works well. I have no complaints about it. It's just an interesting way of seeing them do things. But I haven't taken apart enough graphics processors or GPUs to really know what, you know, I could, you know, I haven't seen a variety of them enough to really say that, hey, this is, you know, all the differences. But I'm interested in doing so on this channel if I could get my hands on more. But if you guys are interested, you guys want to send some stuff in, maybe you could get in contact with me, that sort of. All right, so, you know, once we're cleaning off the residue of the thermal padding on that bracket, which is the heatsink for the memory. Now, the interesting thing is it doesn't make any contact with the GPU's thermal heatsink apparatus that you see over here. So we want to get that nice and clean. As you can see, we want to get it nice and clean, and we want to get it prepared for the new thermal paste application or the new thermal padding application. You have to actually get a padding kit, and you have to cut the different pads to the different sizes that you would need in order to make a complete thermal seal, if you will, on the surface. So this is a further, you know, just looking at it from the top down view, just getting it all cleaned up and everything like that. You want to get down in the nitty gritty because the more dust that you do clean out of there, the more efficiency you have when it comes to the cooling. And although you don't see much dust in there from this angle, sometimes you do have stuff that gets in those little crevices and does you no good in terms of cooling efficiency. So what we have to do is we have to make sure we get all of that in those, and those are little ridges. And then I go for the other piece which has more thermal padding on it, and it's cooling little chips that are like 8 pins a piece. I don't know exactly what those are. Maybe if you guys know, you guys could comment below and maybe let us know. So, and it's the same thing with that piece. It's a heat sink. It's a bracket that you want to put on those chips that you got to tighten down with a screw, just like the other piece. And we demonstrate that later on in the series. But for this part of the series, we're going to be concluding it at the cleaning. The cleaning takes a little bit of time. I mean, this was like a 2-day project, and we had to, basically get it all down, get it nice and ready for the parts because the parts weren't due to arrive till tomorrow, type of thing. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue the series. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed to the channel.